And it literally ties with what I was going to say. Accountability across board. Someone asked, this was Tomi of Bankley, said that you found a boundary doesn't mean you must run it. You might not have the skills to run this company. You know, so people don't, but she was happy because if for your employee to walk up to you and ask you that question, you must have opened a certain road of communication.
Correct.
That they know that nothing would happen to their job. So you must create a culture where people are free to ask questions, knowing that there are no consequences, that nobody will come for my job when I ask the hard questions. Why are we dressing the way we dress? Why do bankers wear suits? Maybe it was because at the time where, maybe during the World War or whenever that was insinuated, maybe
we thought suit meant trust.
Exactly.
But we have learned that it doesn't.
Exactly. So why are we still wearing suits in the bank? Doesn't mean if I walk into a bank and you wear a t-shirt and a jeans, you won't respond to me. No. So why do we do the things we do? We must be open to those things. We must be open to questioning status quo. What is best practice? Who determines what best practice is? What is normal? Who determines what normal is? Yeah. Once you start a fresh company, you must be open to defining what it means for you. YouTube didn't start as a video streaming platform. Neither did Amazon. They evolved as their businesses grew and became what they are today. So if you don't have a learning mindset from the ongoing when you open a business, it's a problem. So if I'm talking to founders, I'm going to say keep an open mindset. Create a culture where people can question what you're doing. Don't fall in love with your product. If you want to solve a problem for communication and this product is not doing it, be willing to change. That's what it is, right? Be inclusive in your policies. Don't just come out and you know that every company in Nigeria has 20 policies and that's what we're going to do. No, that's not your market. They don't work in your company. Who do you have? Use data. Who is working with me? How many percentage of Gen Zs do I have? What will work for them? Don't go and bring in maternal leave when there's nobody in your team that is married. It doesn't make any sense. Right. So let's question how things are done. Let people, give people their what is due to them. Have integrity. Look what's going on with horrible bosses, Paystack, Flutterwave, and all of these things. With time tells everything. If you're running organizations that you think, it doesn't matter, give it time, right? So be open to learning the things that you have worked for and the things that have gotten you here so far. Great experience, I love it. What do you need to go further? The things that brought you here might not be the things you need to go further. So let us keep learning. That's where I start.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I see 2 questions unanswered, and I'll just quickly go through them. Somebody's asking the difference between culture and values.
What's the question? The person paying your salary.
Culture and values, quickly, what's the difference? Or are they used synonymously?
Cultures help you build the right values.
Values help you build the right culture. Yeah. So when we say this is our culture, we break it down into specifics. Yeah. So the foundation for culture
and your value systems.
Thank you. Yes. And the last one says, can you advise ways we can get the buy-in of management to instill the right culture in the organization? Sometimes it is the company leaders that disregard policies. How do we manage this? There's nothing you can do about it as an employee. And I think it links back to what we're saying. Yeah. If the culture of the organization is at variance with yours, personally or professionally, we're not saying exit. We're saying make a plan to exit.
So I'll speak to that, and it's been on my mind. So it's great we're here, and we have this, we all work in structured organization, but the larger population, the larger population, they are in the informal sector. That is one man, 2 employees, and all these business owners, and some of them have had this business for 20 years, 30 years. They're not young people, and we have young people also having companies. They're not even exposed to this information. To be honest, so they start their own company. This is what they do, and they run it, and we see that a lot of these problems sit with because more people work in that sector than our own sector. So we are, and I think it's a problem going to live with us. That is where a lot of people have issues. So we have people working in one-man businesses. That the person is the one paying your salary, and he's not he doesn't know the labor law. He doesn't have an HR manager. He does the payroll. He pays you out of his pocket at the end of the month. And we have employees that work for these people.
What's the solution?
So
I think
I can
go on.
I would love to hear that.
That's why we mentioned emotional intelligence. With emotional intelligence, you can manage what seemingly look like a difficult situation. Even this so-called entrepreneur, chairman, managing director, with the right emotional intelligence, empathy skills, he or she can be engaged. What is his interest? He wants to build a business that is successful. Is there a way in which you could find a very constructive way to raise some of these concerns? Not, mind you, I said in a constructive way. Chief, we have made a lot of progress in ABC. In fact, there are many things we are doing very right. I just want to make a suggestion that if you can also do this 1 and 2, our 75% will be 92%. I would like you to put it in consideration. Sir, if sir
That's what
makes
we're
you
saying.
to listen,
Yes.
that is what is called emotional intelligence. It can
Exactly.
be managed. And if you can do that in those circumstances, when you get to more structured organization, you'll be a champion.
Correct. I totally agree. And I think my addition to that would be to say that the individuals themselves should not sit without developing themselves.
Yeah.
True.
Because once you are in a place where the vision is now, we are bigger than the vision, it is time for you to make a plan to exit.
True.
So
Correct.
if you're in a place where things are not working, we always say
Very true.
that. We're not talking to individuals only within structured environment.
Yeah.
But you also find there's so many people who are in that comfort zone, that environment, because it allows them to do so many other things.
Yeah.
And therefore they're sitting in there. So there are two sides to it: emotional intelligence, to be able to manage it, resilience,
Yeah.
to be able to go through the
Stay
process,
through, yes.
but also self-development
Yeah.
to outgrow that environment.
Where all
and
that
then look
fails.
for an
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I'm going to end with my own final thoughts, and I'll read it out from one of the things I think I posted recently. So I said generations at war. 5 generations, but 1 continuum. 1 boomed with babies on the left, the right people by digital natives. Somewhere in between the plaintiffs, the axis of X and Y, still the norm. None is better than the other. We are just greater together. And while we're still warring, the shipment of the Z is arrived. And then the Gen Alpha, the war of the generations, leading to the Great Resignation. That's the kind of conversation in my mind that led to all we've talked about today. And that's because of the so many unconscious biases that we need to unscript in our mind so that ultimately it will be for the benefit of the organization.
Yeah.
So we have agreed unanimously, I think, that generations should not work in parallels.
That's all.
We should all come together on a continuum
Yeah.
and learn from one another. That's still the wisdom of the ancients and also the agility of the new generation. But at the end of the day, leadership and technology and emotional intelligence will make the workplaces a better place. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adito.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lakomo.
Thank you.
And thank you, Goodness Armstrong. Thank you very, very much, everyone who has joined this conversation.